ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I'm Sunny Pancholi, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these FaceTime with Leaders interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. By bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that are proven success formulas for many. And this is what we aim for with these sessions by making them a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge-sharing community. We have one such industry stalwart on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Ms Girija Mukund. A purpose-driven and empathetic leader, her career highlights include successfully leading high-impact programs with a focus on initiatives empowering rural women in cybersecurity. Her leadership style, shaped by her core values of empathy, integrity, trust, and transparency, is reflected in her achievements and contributions. Her expertise spans corporate social responsibility, environmental sustainability, project management, corporate compliance, stakeholder relationship management, leadership, and cross-functional collaboration. Currently, serving as the Director of CSR and ESG at Kyndryl Solutions Private Limited in Bengaluru, she brings in a wealth of experience spanning various facets of the corporate landscape. Welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, Ms. Girija.
Thank you, Sunny, for this wonderful opportunity.
So, Ms. Girija, to begin with, could you let our viewers know in brief about your career journey so far?
Sure, Sunny. So, 2+ decades of great career experience or a corporate journey has been wonderful. And I would like to definitely talk about my journey from A to B. So when I say A to B, it is started my career as an admin and moved all the way to become a board member in the last 2+ decades. And that's a wonderful journey with big lift and shifts across the 20+ years, having held diverse roles across large corporations like Intels of the world, Motorola, AMD, Global Foundries, and of course with Kyndryl now, the journey is continuing, and I've held diverse roles across these throughout this journey. And one thing I would like to talk about is the lift and shifts I've had, right? So Intel, Motorola, of course, was a startup. So along this journey, I've also had, I would say, challenging startup experiences. And some of these are with Motorola, with Global Foundries, and also some part of it with AMD when AMD started operations in India. And when we talk about the experience in Motorola, right? I was part of the finance organization, but I always wanted to do something different. And so along the road in Motorola, what happened was there was this project on introducing intranet within the organization. That was a big project back then. I'm talking about 95. So that's where I was part of this program and represented the company. And we also won the TCS award. It's called as Total Customer Satisfaction Award in Motorola. Back then, we used to have these TCS awards where all the Motorola divisions across the world would come together, present their projects, and these projects would, the best project would get shortlisted and then implemented. The solutions would be implemented across the company. And one such project was the intranet, introducing intranet in the organization back then. And when I moved on from there and then joined Intel. Again, a big shift. From finance, I moved on to corporate services. And in corporate services, right, it was a while I had a short stint in Intel, but a great 2.5 years of journey. And I was into infrastructure projects, supporting the. So the journey in Intel, right, gave me an experience in handling the entire corporate services portfolio of, be it the facility management or administration, or environmental health and safety, or the security and the other aspects of the corporate services, health and safety, and the other aspects of the corporate services portfolio, and also gave me an exposure into project management. Back then, Intel was working on building their campuses, and I had the opportunity to be part of the campus readiness program. And that's where my journey in project management started. And I had to kind of take a maternity break and again join AMD after that. And AMD is where I've had the longest stint. And again, I've seen myself growing from an operations professional to a project manager. And that's where I also added few feathers to my cap of to my I would say professional cap of being certified as a project management professional, and then uh, moved on to handling projects, resource management, contract resource management, basically outsourced resources. And that's where I had an opportunity to build the contractor blue book in AMD, where we had to put together the entire contractor management process. So that's where I had an opportunity to do that. And of course, beyond that, there were these other projects along the line, like your campus, bringing in the plug and play, bringing it to plug and play readiness, moving again from multiple office spaces to a consolidated campus. And all these happened during my journey in AMD. So AMD, again, I was on the business side. So I was with the business. So the exposure of working with verticals like the HR, operations, administrations, and finance, versus working with the business, gave me a holistic view of how business looks at things differently, and how the other verticals perceives or looks at things differently, right? And how do we kind of, I would say, marry both, and how we kind of, um, you know, I would say, bring in that balance, handling both the business side as well as the support function side of the business. And along the line through the journey, I've also had a great opportunity to work with the senior leadership and the C-suite. So that also gave me a great learning and insights on the perspectives that they come with, right? Perspectives the leadership comes with, and that definitely has helped me grow along the journey. And I've had like 9 years of stint in AMD, and then I again moved from AMD. I moved to Global Foundries, again a startup. So Global Foundries started operations in 2015, and that's where I joined Global Foundries with the spin-off of IBM Microcontroller Division. Global Foundries was formed in 2015, and I joined Global Foundries as head of corporate compliance and CSR. So there I managed pretty much everything. So the corporate compliance exposure that I got in Global Foundries was a big shift. Again, if I look at it, I was handling operations in AMD. Then, moving on to corporate compliance was, I would say, a fresh, journey for me. And of course, I did take that plunge, and the Global Foundries management had so much confidence in me. And when they assigned this role to me, and it was a big change for me as well. because I was handling the corporate secretarial portfolio, where I was advising the board on so many aspects. I was handling the entire corporate compliance portfolio, be it statutory, be it regulatory, be it labor. All of these were under the corporate compliance umbrella. And if we look at uh, the other verticals, it's the CSR, where that came into play. And back then, 2014 is when the CSR Act was formed. And since then, the companies were mandated to report on CSR and ethics and compliance. And I was also chairing the POSH committee, as well as I was also the trustee for the Gratuity Trust of Global Foundries. I also had a stint of being a board member of Global Foundries as well. So I had a short stint of handling. I was a board member at Global Foundries. I had a short stint there. That's where I know 6 long years of journey in Global Foundries, and then um, that's where I felt I should do something, different now. And down came this opportunity on corporate social responsibility and ESG, and I decided to plunge and start this journey again new. So if I look at my career path, right, it's not that I've been doing the same role over the last 2 decades. I've been doing diverse roles, and that's definitely has helped me look at things differently, look at things from the perspective of the respective verticals that I worked in. So it's a great journey, I would say.
Ms. Girija, thank you for the excellent start to this interview, and I must say your career journey is truly inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you, Sunny.
So continuing our conversation, our viewers would like to know, how do you integrate your core values of empathy, integrity, trust, and transparency into your leadership style?
So, see, promoting a culture that values, I would say, ITI, that's how I call it, as empathy, trust, integrity, transparency, and inclusivity. In my leadership, what I look at is, I put myself in the shoes of the others. So that definitely gives me a perspective, and also helps me make, informed decisions, I would say. And modeling, fairness and accountability is the key. And integrity is something you do the right thing when nobody is watching you, even when nobody is watching you, right? And that's where I would say modeling the accountability and fairness is very, very important at all the time. And that's something that I follow. And these are, guiding principles that I have in my life, and that has really helped me grow, and being very transparent. And if I have to relate it to my career journey, I would definitely go back and talk about Global Foundries, where the management had so much trust in me to assign this a larger role of corporate compliance and handling the secretarial matters, despite me not being a qualified company secretary. So that clearly talks about the values that I bring to the table. And when I really talk about the trust is something that you build over a period of time, and that's something you give to your team members, right? So I believe in delegation. I believe in macro management. That's where I believe in empowering the team, and making them accountable. And that is something that I believe in, and I've been following through my journey.
That sounds incredible. So building on to that, how do you approach employee relation and engagement, especially in the context of CSR initiatives and programs?
So when we talk about employee relations and engagement, right? So one thing is, if I talk about the organization itself, we have a lot of highly skilled resources in the organization. Now, how do we leverage on those skills? Leveraging on those skills is very, very important. And that's one aspect of it. And if I look at the other aspect of it is how how do you do something that resonates with them? So if I have to really engage the team, right? There should be something that I should be passionate about it, or the team should be passionate about it. And how do so what resonates with them is very, very important to really keep them engaged. So typically, what I have been doing is float a survey to see what resonates with them, and how do we build or how do we integrate with the overall strategy that we have, right? Our own could be the CSR strategy, or could be even the business strategy. So integrating and aligning them with the strategy, and making sure that it resonates what the employee is looking forward to. And with that, I'm sure we can get a strong engagement. And if I really want to talk about it, one project that I implemented and launched in 2022 January was cybersecurity skilling for rural women. And cybersecurity being one of the core values or core practice areas for us, right? We started engaging with the team right from the early stage, right from the nascent stage. And that's where we engage with our experts internally and ask the experts to put together a content for this program that we launched, that we were planning to launch. And that's where this team was so passionate, because they're already working on it. We have the skills with us, and the team put together the content for us. And we kind of worked with our partners and said what do they have on table, and then kind of married both, integrated both, and we launched this program. And not just launching, right? And then from there on, the journey has continued. How are we engaging with them? So when something the employees are passionate about it, and when you do something that resonates with them, you can definitely see a stronger engagement, and that's what I believe in.
All right. So could you provide details about a particular impactful CSR initiative you have spearheaded and how it contributed to both social and business objectives?
So I would again go back to the previous question, right? John, I'm continuing on what I spoke about as the cybersecurity initiative that we launched. So we launched this program to empower rural women on cybersecurity, I would say cybersecurity skills. And what we did is we identified these 3 or 4 segments. So when we did an analysis, we found that most of the rural women are into some kind of a rural business they do, or they are ruralpreneurs, and they are using the digital platform extensively. Either they are part of a CSC center managing the data of the rural citizens, or they are doing their own small businesses, or they are also working as, let's say, a bank correspondence or a DGPS case, where they handle a lot of data. And if you look at India's population itself, right, more than 60% reside in rural, and of the 60%, we have about 50% of them are women, close to 50% of them are women. And that's where we said this program is something that's very, very critical for us to equip women on cybersecurity to help them navigate through these cyber threats and crimes. And with that, we launched this program in January last year to train 100,000 rural women across the country. And so far, we have trained close to 26,000 women, and the journey is continuing. It's a 3-year program, and I really take pride in this program, because the way this program has evolved in the last 10, 11 months is amazing. And these women have not only gone through the learning process, but they've also become true cybersecurity ambassadors in kind of educating their community, in educating their communities, and also becoming cyber suraksha sakis to support the communities. So we have really seen this program creating the, and as an extension of this, what is happening is there are so many other things that's branching out from this program. So we are looking at giving this program a holistic view. So the cybersecurity itself, a holistic view could be, training children, and then looking at seniors, and then empowering women to become cybersecurity leaders. So create a cybersecurity career path for women. So these are a few things that we are looking at, um, kind of launching around this whole initiative and giving it a holistic view, and not while focusing on women is something that we started with, but when we started along the journey, we have seen a lot of initiatives that's branching out now, and it's a fantastic place to be in, and a fantastic journey. And as I said, it's very clearly aligning to our business objectives and our goals.
Amazing. So, Ms. Girija, your contribution to CSR initiatives is immense. I would also like to know, as an ESG and corporate governance expert, what values do you bring to the table?
See, as a corporate governance or a CSR professional, right? Going back to the same mantra of ETITI is very, very important. That's the value you bring to the table, being an empathetic leader, bringing the trust and transparency, especially in your governance and other processes, or everywhere, right? That is something as I said, it's a guiding principle that I follow, and that's something I bring to the table. And apart from that, the diverse experience I've got along the corporate journey, right? The diverse experience that I have along this corporate journey has taught some great lessons, and have some great experiences that I bring to the table. So I'm able to look at things from a business perspective, also from I would say a finance or an operations perspective as well. So that is a value add that I bring to the table. And when we look at CSR, engaging with could be a non-profit or engagement with government bodies. So all these are part of the experiences that I bring to the table.
Amazing. So now that we have discussed your career journey, your professional pursuits, roles and responsibilities, your CSR initiatives, your take on ESG and corporate governance, let's dive into the subject of technology and its impact on your professional landscape. So here is my question to you. What are some of the most remarkable changes you have seen in your field with changes in technology? That is A. And B is, what changes do you expect to see with the advent of IoT, AI, ML, blockchain, big data, Web 3.0, etc., etc.?
So if we look at India itself, right, the Digital India initiative has transformed the way we do things, the way we do business. So is with the CSR community, right? So if you look at the communities, now every corporate today is looking at skilling skilling people. It could be through the digital, and everything is digital today. And COVID has taught us some great lessons, and also helped us bring in more technology in the way we do things, in the way we handle our daily lives. Same is the case with the communities, right? Today, we are especially during the COVID time, we have seen children studying with mobile phones. A family of four probably had one mobile phone, but the child was still able to attend classes with the mobile phone. That's the shift we have seen, and of course that shift has pushed us to invest more in technology, especially in the learning space, right? From a traditional classroom to we have moved to a hybrid model. We have moved to online model of learning, right? And if we really talk about the technology, let's say if we talk about big data, right? I mean, that's really helped, right? If you look at leveraging these big data is really helping corporates to make informed decisions in their CSR, in the CSR projects that they invest in, right? And if we look at AI or IoT, again, AI or IoT is helping us in optimizing the resources, in bringing in more transparency, in giving us more real-time solutions, right? And also reduce the waste and reduce the environmental footprint. And if we are talking about, for example, blockchain, right? Blockchain is helping us to invest. Um, uh, Blockchain is really helping us into, I would say, transparent sourcing models, and these smart contracts have come in place. That's really helping us to support funding of projects through smart contracts. It also looks at the way funds are being utilized and whether it's being put to the right use, right? So there's a lot of transparency that's coming in there with these smart contracts. And if we look at the social platforms, for example, right? Social platforms are today being extensively used for engaging with communities. And it also is helping us in a lot of global collaboration. And if we talk about a global collaboration, right, there are a lot of these platforms that also helps to, while it helps to decentralize, it also helps to integrate and he's helping in a lot of information sharing, right? And also is helping in pooling of resources, working on joint projects, collaborative projects across the globe, and probably helping to address global problems. So that's another thing that's happening. And if we look at another area is the digital reporting platforms. So digital reporting platforms is not only enabled accessibility, but also helps in, again, integrating a lot of information, and also brings in accountability on the corporates as well as on the nonprofits. If I talk about from a CSR perspective, right? So as the technology evolves, CSR strategies also will become more sophisticated, will get integrated and aligned with the broader sustainability goals.
Thank you for sharing such amazing insights into different subjects. So this brings us to the last question, Ms. Girija. And here it is. We are building a community of industry magnates. The move is meant for cross-pollination of knowledge and building a knowledge-sharing community of corporate giants and industry experts. So what are your thoughts about these initiatives taken by Mr. Zishan Pathan, Mr. Heval Mehta, and the whole team of World Development Corporation?
This is an amazing initiative, bringing in the industry stalwarts together. Definitely is going to it's definitely I would say helping different segments of the industry or different verticals, and and will definitely open doors for larger innovations. And I would say we talk about I would say mega or larger mergers, but we are talking about larger collaborations, much bigger collaborations across the globe, and definitely will help us to address problems that's there, common problems across industries, could be across segments, or could be across the globe. And also from a CSR perspective, if we have to put this, it'll definitely help us to solve a larger community problems. And if I relate back to a project that's close to my heart, which is cybersecurity, cybersecurity education in one country, right, can definitely be extended to others with with the kind of collaboration that we are looking at. And uh, this will definitely foster a lot of innovation, and with the leaders coming together, they come with different perspectives, and that's where we kind of leverage on the solutions that they bring to the table, and it's for, I would say, the larger good, right? Larger good of the economy, the communities, and the industry as well. That's how I look at it. I hope
Great.
I've answered your question. Yeah.
Absolutely. Great. It was fantastic conversing with you, and I'm confident that your insights will inspire future leaders. Thank you, Ms. Girija, for joining us today. Wish you the best for your future endeavors. Moreover, trust that this initiative by World Development Corporation and Directors Institute has unquestionably expanded the participants' understanding and enriched their minds.
Thank you so much, Sunny, for this opportunity. And I really appreciate the work that World Development Corporation is doing today in grooming the future directors and industry leaders.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and have a nice day.
Thank you, Sunny.